Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. This is not Guys at a Table. This is a whole new thing. This is a CERN podcast where we're going to be discussing the entire CERN series, which is an anime and also other things. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea for this is you can either watch along, like if you're a fan of the series, you can watch us discuss it. We're going to be discussing other like shows, books, whatever, movies, it could be anything. But for now, we're going to start with a certain series. And today we have Trey,
What's up?
Manny,
Hey.
Evan,
Yo.
and Colby.
What's up? Last again.
So, if I didn't make it clear, we're discussing a certain magical index, which is the
Season
first
1.
Yeah, season 1.
Because every episode is going to be a different season from one of the different series. There are 7 in total.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be watching all 3 seasons of Index, all 3 seasons of Railgun, and the 1 season of Accelerator.
Mm-hmm. So
Which
first,
is what I'm most excited for, to be honest. The
Which
season
one?
3 of Index and no. Season 3 of Railgun and Accelerator.
Oh yeah, we should say me and Evan have watched 4 out of the 7 seasons already. It was a while ago.
We did a while ago.
We still have some knowledge of what happens, and all the other 3, they're newcomers.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna sit here silently judging them as they're wrong on everything.
Okay.
So, without further ado, talking point number 1. Take it away, Jake.
So our initial opinions, just like our general thoughts on the show. Should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought the show was very okay. I have things that I have problems with it. I think the main character, Toma, he's kind of just like a dude. He's kind of just like, yeah, I'm the main character and I'm gonna save the girls and shit. Like, he doesn't really have that much personality to him, I feel like.
That's interesting.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of the series, so I've always loved the series. I agree, Toma is kind of just generic, but I like that about him because it has like a relatability to him. So he's just this average guy who like doesn't have like he has his Imagine Breaker, which is the power to negate like all the other powers, but it's only in his right hand. It adds really a feeling of like, oh, he's just kind of an ordinary guy who just happens to like, get wrapped up in all this magic and like scientific stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I want to say as well is like something I know from being with the series for a while. I know the main series originally comes from the light novel, and I know within the light novel, he kind of has more inner dialogue on certain things, so you get more of his personality that comes through, and he has more personality in the light novels, or from what I told. I haven't read them myself.
That's a big thing about like anime adaptations too, is like you can't really like with manga and light novels it's easy to have that inner dialogue, but if you have too much inner dialogue in an anime, it becomes kind of like it just doesn't really feel the same.
Yeah.
It becomes like narrator-y.
Yeah, it becomes very like narration-y.
Yeah, so that wasn't able to like shine through in the anime as much, I guess. But I still like Toma. Like, he's not one of my favorite characters in the show, but like
he's not one of my least favorite either. Yeah.
Like,
he's
I
not
don't
one of my least
hate
favorite.
him.
Like I'd be like, hey yo, that's my man Toma. He be getting all the bitches.
He do be getting all the bitches. That is true.
That's true.
All right, what about the rest of you guys?
He's very like I gotta say he's generic. He's just the average run of the mill anime character. But at the same time, I gotta say his power, the Imagine Breaker, I feel like is underrated a lot. But it seems like every single character in the anime.
Well, you think like people underestimate him?
Definitely underestimate him because I feel like that
cool,
power can just trump anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like in the series though, you see different ways that people have outsmarted it.
Yeah.
which is pretty
It's
cool.
it's like a game of 3D chess as well, because like people will be like, "Ha, I'll do this," and then you won't be able to do it. Well, I'll do this just so I can block your attack.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
one thing I really like
hey,
about Toma too, though, is that he don't give a
oh,
fuck. He will punch women in the face. Like he don't
That
he
is
don't
true.
care,
nah, bro, no, bro, gender equality. Cosmo said it.
bro.
And
Equal rights,
rated
equal
E
fights.
for everyone.
Equal rights, equal fights.
I know, dude. His Imagine Breaker is rated E for everyone.
I was say, one thing I will talk about while we're on the topic of Imagine Breaking. I know, Kobe, I know we've talked about this before, like we've just mentioned it, is the sound it makes when
Oh,
he
it's so
cancels out
cool.
shit is just so satisfying. It's so satisfying. I love it.
That
And
sound is really cool.
I feel like before we move on to other things, I think we should just discuss the world of the
You
show.
want to discuss that first?
Yeah.
Well, we got to get Manny's initial opinion first.
Yeah, he hasn't.
He's been uncharacteristically quiet.
I wanted to let you guys talk because I know I was going to hog the show if I were going to start talking. So, but no, the show I have very similar feelings about it to, with Jake. How it feels very average, and I get that's the point for the character. He's your everyday man. He's your run of the mill guy. He just whatever, right? But then he just has this ability that no one else has, and he could just fucking trump most people. But yet, as you said, those people could still outsmart him and outmaneuver his abilities because it's not like overpowered to the point where he do whatever, because he still has to touch that thing with his right hand. So like if you are able to make him immobile, whatever, it's like, okay, cool. I like the stipulation aspect to that. He has limitations. Limitations on a character makes them more relatable and also makes him more interesting as a person. So even though he is average, I could see him throughout the series getting a lot better with his like character development. I don't remember much from the show, even though I like watched it like last week. But like, there's a plot point that I forget if it got resolved or not. Him losing his memory.
That doesn't get resolved. It's a big part of his character.
Yeah,
that's gonna be an ongoing thing throughout the rest of the series.
Okay.
but we can
Because
get
like,
to
he didn't
that.
just lose his memory. His memories were destroyed when that little feather thing fell on his head.
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we discuss like the individual.
Yeah,
arcs.
He didn't just lose that shit. He can't find that shit. It's gone.
Fucking erased.
So, one last thing on Toma. I do like his like quirky thing where it's like, oh, my bad luck. Like,
I do like that's like a funny ongoing joke that he has. Yeah, I really enjoy that.
I feel like that adds more personality to him instead of him.
Yeah, like him cursing his luck.
Yeah, and how like his right hand negates magic, but it also like negates like God's will or whatever.
Yeah, or like God's miracle, I think it was, or something like that. Yeah,
I
that's
think
why
that
his
was
luck's so bad.
when I heard that, I thought that was interesting. But
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Before we like discuss like all the characters, I kind of want to discuss like the world they're in, and then
All right,
so like
shoot.
most of the show, pretty much all the show happens in Academy City. Is that what it is? Where it's like a city to train espers, which are
The scientific people with people with powers from scientific background or of origin.
And everyone is like rated on like how skillful they are with their scientific
The level
abilities.
system.
So it's like level 0.
Yeah, 0 to 5.
And Toma's a level 0.
Yeah, because his power is like, I guess, not considered really an Esper power. That's another thing in the series. Like, they never really specify what his power is, I don't think.
Yeah.
Or at least as far as I've gotten. I don't remember if they have, but because his power is not classified as either Esper or magic, but he is considered an Esper because he's from Academy City. So that's what they that's what they classify him as.
In the world, there's like two major like divisions, I guess, like people that are scientific and people that are magical, that can use magic. And there's like kind of like a divide between those people.
It's kind of like a scale that they want to keep balanced.
Yeah, like them being like separate kind of keeps the peace a little bit.
Yeah, they basically, it's them having their own each, both science and magic, each having their own goals and ambitions and ideals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So they stay separate. And for the most part, it keeps them from fighting. For the most part.
Yeah, it really doesn't, because most of it is just a lot of fighting between the two sides. But there's also like a religious aspect to it too.
That's like because most magicians are religious. That's like how they get their power.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Yeah,
like,
they draw their power from like reciting scriptures and such.
and the church that's like mentioned the most is like the Church of Necessarius, right?
Yeah, it's part of the English Orthodox Church, I think.
Necessary Evil, which Index is a part of.
Yeah, Index, Magnus, Kanzaki, Tsuchimikado, I think they're all part of the Church of Necessarius.
And they're like kind of like they fight fire with fire. Like they keep the peace by like being violent towards.
Yeah, because like you said, they're the necessary evil.
Yeah. And I feel like that's still a mystery to me. Like the entire church, like who's the leader of this entire like group, and like what's their bigger role. I feel like it wasn't.
I know. So I know season 2 gets more into like the church and more magical aspect of like the show, like the world.
Yeah.
Because season 1's a lot more focused in Academy City, and it really sets up Academy City.
Yeah,
because it was kind of going back and forth between the science and the magic thing, because it wanted to set up Index while also setting up Railgun, sow some seeds for that, and it also wanted to do like other things as well. So it was kind of like season 1 of Index is basically the baseline for everything. So season two of Index can focus more on just the magic aspect, because at that point Railgun has already been set up and that's its own thing. So they're kind of separate at that point. I mean, they still go back and forth with each other.
Yeah, like Misaka's still in Index a lot.
Yeah,
and I know Toma's in Railgun too.
Yeah, they still like cross over with each other a lot, but like each show is more focused on their own general aspect of each thing.
And I do have like a few criticisms for like the world building. Like I feel like a lot of it isn't really explained well.
Well, you're also only in the first season.
That is true. But like I remember when like Index, like she has all the grimoires or whatever. And like when she uses her power, she just like babbles off like all this like nonsense, like all this like spells. And I feel like it's just like nothing is really explained. It's just like, oh, she's just saying...
she's reciting spells from the grimoires in her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't really dive deep into like what are these spells, like what do they come from? It's kind of
it says the grimoires are like they're like the super powerful books of magic that even if one person were to use them, it could like cause catastrophe and all that. And I know Index had that spell put on her by the church. I forgot what it was like called. It was like Commandment John or something like that. That's when she became kind of like robotic and used magic and stuff. Because normally she can't use magic. She uses the what was it, like redirection or something like that.
Yeah.
Where she kind of like controls the magic flow. Or I forgot how it was. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I know like once Toma kind of like destroyed that spell, she can't really use like magic anymore. Because like the John or the Reverend John, Commander John, whatever it was called. I don't remember. But that like kind of was disabled when he canceled out the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed...
I think it was called John's Pen. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, John's Penance or something like that. John's Pen. Yeah, that's it.
And also, I feel like a lot of the world building is just like, it's just someone telling you. It's just like a lot of just like, sit down here and I'm just going to say a whole paragraph of information. I feel like it's a lot of tell, not show. And I also feel like it's just not, like it's interesting, but I don't think it's executed well.
So I agree with Jake about how a lot of exposition is just thrown at you and you don't really get breathing room. And they're like, yeah, we expect you to have this information. You don't need to know all of it, but we have it. And I'm guessing they're going to expand upon it in later seasons because in this season, as you guys said, it's just a bunch of world building and just setting the foundations and setting stone for the shows that continue afterwards, like Railgun and Accelerator and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm going to look at this as a season-based show. So by that point of view, it's still not all there when it comes to actually like actually showing you how things are. It's like, okay, yeah, so we have this aspect, blah blah blah, and like things are just thrown at you different terms. I'm like, okay, and I don't even remember most things from the show until you guys say them. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, or like characters' names, because like just like sometimes it just feels like it's just so much. Like I have to like get in so much information.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I felt
So-
overwhelmed by like the whatever it's called.
Exposition.
Yeah.
And like I like how the Academy City is set up, whatever. The logistics of it is not really explained. It doesn't really need to be explained, but
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the city is like, you don't really need to go into like the economics and the government like aspect of it. But I know it does go into the government aspect, I think a little bit later. Because they talk about the dude in the tube.
Yes.
Upside down floaty tube man.
Dude in the tube.
But like with that because isn't like 80% of the population just like children, like school children?
Yeah, well, they're not. Yeah,
They're not
Yeah, they're
infants.
students.
Well,
They're
yeah,
students,
students, school children.
So it's split between like college, high school, middle school, and I think maybe some elementary schools.
So
Is there
like,
elementary school? I thought that was.
Yeah.
I didn't know there.
No, I think he said
that.
elementary school in the first episode. He was like, "This is Academy City," or blah blah blah, something like that.
Yeah.
and like how it's mostly espers, right? It's just mostly espers in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like
supposedly, because apparently there's like, as the show goes on, you realize that there's mages kind of lurking in the background as well.
Yeah, because I remember later on it's that woman who summons that beast. I forgot the name.
Oh, she summons the golem.
Golem.
Yeah, the golem.
I forgot his name. Ellis.
Ellis.
Yeah, it's Ellis.
Yeah, so like I understand, like, okay, so that's setting up something else, because that plot line felt like it came out of nowhere or whatever. So I'm guessing that's related to more of the magic stuff that's gonna happen later on in the show. But just things happen. I'm like, okay, this is happening. I understand it's probably gonna happen for a reason. It's setting something else up, but it's just happening. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just watching. I'm enjoying it. It's entertaining, but at the same time, it's not really giving me like what's to come. Like, okay, until I actually get there, I don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the stuff they like, the world building they do, like it never comes up. So I feel like maybe it will come up like in later seasons, but right now it just kind of feels like, oh, this is kind of useless information that I didn't really need.
Like which part?
Damn, you're putting me on the spot here.
This is a podcast.
Shit. Let me
Like, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm honestly just curious as to which part you're talking about.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't think of it right now.
Well,
Oh,
I'll take that. I'll take that as a chance to bounce off right now. Oh, do you think of what you want to say?
no, you go, Evan.
I want to say, as someone who's watched the first 2 seasons of Index and Railgun, I will say, going through all that, the magic stuff is still just kind of, it feels still exposition-y, because it's like a lot of like what Manny was saying earlier. It's a lot of terms and stuff like that like they're just throwing around as like, oh, these are things. But it's like it's just, I don't feel very inclined to get invested in that as much, which is why I feel like the Railgun series is more. I feel
they provide enough information where you at least know what's happening, but not as much information to know like completely what's going on. It's like they'll throw out these terms that so you're like, oh, okay, so they're using magic, but you don't really know what the terms like actually mean and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
isn't exactly a
good.
bad thing, but it's also not really a good thing either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that, because I like that aspect of it, is where like they'll keep you like on your toes, because it's always like, oh, this could come back later, this part could come back later, this part, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I don't mind that, but it's just the magic system in general is what like kind of was like to me because it felt like very what's the term?
I mean,
soft magic
soft magic system.
Yeah,
because
I
it's just
understand,
things. The magic
like-
is always like ever changing. It's always like but these are also things we can do with magic, and I was like
Yeah.
I see.
I give them like a slight pass because they did kind of come up with two different magic systems in a way with like the Esper powers and the magic how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So like they had to come up with two different ones, but yeah, they didn't. The magic system like it's not really explained as much, but I kind of like that because it gives it more like a magical feel to it. Because like obviously magic is just stuff that hasn't been explained yet.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I think maybe the best way to put it and what I'm trying to say is like they're saying a lot of things about magic and there's very little that actually applies. Because it's like there's so much exposition on it and then there's like very small bits of it that actually like matter. All the rest of it is just like fluff, it feels. So it almost makes it feel like they're trying to make it look more fleshed out than it is, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that.
I understand.
And like a lot of times like you don't even have to like pay attention to like all that exposition because like it just like boils down to like, oh, he can summon a super mud monster or whatever, and it's like, oh, you don't really need to know how it happens. It's magic.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me
Which, like
wrong.
I said, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either.
Yeah, because I love these shows. Like I sit back and I watch this shit anyway. I just like this is like something that's been on my mind for past 4 years since I originally watched these shows.
Because like for me, it's like you don't need to explain every single detail about like a power system, unless it like makes sense. Because like in Full Metal Alchemist's case, like that makes sense why they explain like every little detail. But like for this, it's like I don't really need to know how she summons the giant golem. I just need to know whether it's magic or an Esper power, and then like from that you kind of can get the basis of how she does it. Because like so let's talk about like Mikasa's power or Misaka's power. Is that what I really like is the detail of like whenever she uses her electricity, it comes out of her head.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
No, I didn't.
Which plays to the fact that it's a psychic power, which is a power of the mind, which I think is really cool.
That's cool.
So like whenever she's like summoning electricity, you can see it stem from kind of like her head.
I like that.
Which I think is a really cool detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like I gotta. It's like just a small bit too, because like I always like the animation of her just like pulling the electricity from that little like
she just pulls it out. She like and she doesn't just summon it from her hand. She actually like pulls it out of like the stream coming from her head.
That works in so many ways because like how you said it's psychokinetic with the espers with their powers, but also says your brain works on electricity, synapse shit. It works so well. I like that aspect. I didn't know that. That was really cool.
Yeah. I discovered like I realized that like a while back when I was watching. I think when I watched Railgun for the first time because I didn't notice it when I first watched Index. Because I remember I watched Index with Evan the first time he watched it. We watched the first season in like 2 days and we like binged it together. And I never like caught that, but then like going through my this was taking my third time because I watched it once through with Evan again before I watched the second season. But I watched when I watched it again, you can tell like that it's coming out of her head and stuff, and it's really cool. It's a really cool detail that they put in.
Yeah, like when they were going into like when we'll discuss it in a little bit when they go into Sister's arc.
Yeah,
like which is when she gets to show off more of her ability. You can really just like see every time she uses it as well. It just comes from her head, and then it's even the sisters do it as well. So it's like consistency.
So Trey, do you have any comments on the world building?
No, I guess just my biggest question is: was there anything that did happen world building wise that they could have put off till later seasons?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I feel like they kind of did bare bones world building right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like Manny said, it is a foundation season. So
yeah.
All right.
That's really it.
So
what's next? The arcs.
I wanted
arcs or characters.
Characters.
All right. So I think we can all agree who the best character is.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely Makoto Misaka.
Yeah.
Best girl.
The railgun dude.
Oh yeah.
I think. I know her character is it's really good, especially like in the sister. She got a lot more development in the sister's arc, but like her powers are just insane.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, before the sisters arc, she shows up like once to kick a fucking the the vending machine and then disappears until the sisters arcs.
she was one of the first characters shown too, because Toma steps in to try to save her from those like thugs, and it turns out like, she thought he was saving the thugs from her.
Yeah.
So not only is like her powers cool, I feel like she just has so much more personality and just like likable traits than like.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm so more like much excited for like Railgun. I want to watch that.
Yeah, every time
so
she was
good.
on screen, I'm like, I want a show with her as the main character.
This isn't a negative to Misaka, but the one thing that I don't like that comes with Misaka is Kuroko, that stupid little teleporting bitch. I hate her so much. She's the worst fucking character. And she shows up so much in Railgun, which is like the only negative of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
but you also get the two girls, and no, one of them is in Judgment with Kuroko, and then there was the other one.
The random girl who I think she was level 0. But we don't got to talk about that now.
Her like sidekick teleporting girl or whatever, she didn't really annoy me that much. Maybe she'll annoy me.
Oh, trust me. No, she definitely will.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even assuming, that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
All right.
Like that's a Colby guarantee, dude.
But like
trademark.
It's funny that like almost all my like favorite characters are just Misaka. Like Misaka 10032, Last Order. It's all different versions of Misaka.
Another character who I think is really good is Accelerator.
I really do like Accelerator.
Yeah, I like how
he got that like nice little redemption in the last like, couple episodes. It was like super awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he like going on from the redemption, he keeps going from there, and his arc is really good. I know it continues in the newer seasons that me and Kobe haven't seen, but like it's so good.
Like I like how it goes from him. You'd think he's just like mindlessly killing thousands of these sister Misakas, to then later on caring so much for just this one Misaka's life.
Yeah, I really love that arc. That's like I think that's probably my favorite arc in the entire show. It's like him like just redeeming himself, just being like a good person. I'm like, oh my god, I like this. This is good.
Because I know I'm not gonna like say too much, but I know he kind of joins like the underground like team that works for the Tube guy, for the good of Academy City.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like the Shadow Ops team. It's like him. Do you remember that dude with the knife that like disguised his face?
Dude, that one episode.
Yeah, him.
Yeah,
he's there too, and I think some other people. I think Tsuchimikado, the dude with the sunglasses. I really like him too. He's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think Accelerator's power is cool, and it's actually like explained how it works too.
Yeah.
It's like a super overpowered ability, but it actually
limitations.
Because like for him, he has to calculate he has to actually calculate how it works. So like his power is like he controls vectors, which is like just directional. So he has so if he was going to control something, he has to calculate how to control it.
Yeah.
Which is why when he gets shot in the head,
I think it's really cool.
It messes up his brain. That's why they have to connect him to the Misaka network that all the Misakas have together to help him like compute that, which becomes a huge handicap like in the later seasons. So he's not as powerful as he was in the first season.
Yeah. He's as powerful power-wise, but he has way more limitations on his power. He has power in bursts instead of like just always like he did in the first season. But I think like that whole thing, like with Kobe, it's like it feels more. His power feels like one of definitely the most fleshed out ones, because like they tell you, and that you can also see that like he actually has to do these calculations for all these different like moves and vectors and everything that he's controlling.
When he did the thing with the wind, when he was turning it to plasma, you literally see him like, because when the Misakas like start using the windmills to turn the wind away, he's like, dang, did I mess up all my calculations?
Yeah.
When he's like trying to control like the thing.
Yeah.
Because I know I don't want to say too much, but yeah, his limitations pretty much increase. Like it's a pretty big limitation that he gets.
It's a real handicap he gets later on, but I mean he still kicks ass, of course, because he's Accelerator.
That's like the joke where it's like in the video game when you fight the boss versus when it joins your team.
That's so facts. Because as soon as he becomes good, of course he has the fucking handicap, of course. But yeah, it's basically the epitome of that meme. Yeah.
So Any other characters that stand out as a positive?
I mean, we got to talk about Index.
I don't know if that's
All right.
positive.
So when it comes to
Well,
Index,
she is the title character.
yeah. So I enjoyed her like a lot in the first couple episodes,
Yes.
and then it just became mad annoying, and I couldn't like,
Unbearable.
really
Honestly,
I agree.
you could probably take out Index after that first arc in the show, wouldn't
I
you?
know.
Yeah, right?
She is so useless.
Until I think, like I said, I think she becomes
Literally.
more prominent later on.
Mhm.
But like like in the first season, like she literally is just at home with Sphinx the cat the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was literally just a filler character.
That's what it felt like. Yeah,
And it's
In her own show.
It's so
That's wild.
weird. It's like I
and
don't
she's a title character too.
I don't understand why the show is called A Certain Magical Index.
I think it's because she's the catalyst for all the magical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
without her, Toma would have never got involved in magic.
I don't understand why the
Yeah.
writer made like the title character such just like useless and annoying. Because like
She started, she didn't end it.
like I know this is like a general consensus among like the fan base that like Index sucks.
She does. She
Yeah.
does nothing.
Yeah.
But another character I love, Miss Komoy, the teacher.
Oh, Miss Komoy is
Yeah.
Dude, she's so
The
cute.
freaking
I love her.
8-year-old.
She's great. Don't you ever disrespect her a day in your life, dude. I will drop you right
Bro.
here now.
Fat bro. We will go hard on you, all of us. Fucking about to fuck you up.
She's alright, I guess. I don't think
Shut the
she
fuck.
stood
No,
out.
she's great.
Dude, she's so
Yeah.
cute, bro. Come on.
Okay.
Bro, we're the Komoy protection squad, and you're about to
You
fuck
guys
with us right
back the
now.
Don't make her
Fuck off.
cry. If you make her cry, I'll beat you up.
You sound like the students in her class, dude.
You made her cry.
Like she's
Some other
nice.
characters- Some
But-
other characters are the what, are you saying something, Jake?
No, I was just complaining more about the teacher.
All right, well then I'm gonna cut you off. The people in Necessarius, like Magnus, the red-haired dude who's 14.
Yeah, right? He doesn't
Yeah,
look anything like a 14-year-old.
and he smokes like a fucking 30-year-old.
My dude
Ever
is
since-
14.
Ever since I learned that fact, I can't help but bring it up every time I say his name.
I don't- Like I can't
It's
look
too
at
much.
him as a 14-year-old. Like
Also,
He's not.
yeah, I'm just gonna
His magic-
ignore that. I'm gonna ignore that and just pretend he's like 20 something.
so like we were talking about earlier, he outsmarted Toma's Imagine Breaker without even meaning to. Like when he summoned Innocentius,
Mhm.
because the runes kept him there. No matter how much like Toma canceled out Innocentius, he kept coming back. Which is another way like
Yeah.
the Imagine Breaker didn't actually end up helping him because Toma outsmarted him. That's how he ended up beating him. Is he was like, oh, these
Yeah.
papers have the ink on them, and I'll just turn the sprinklers on, and it'll run the ink, and then he'll like disappear.
Yeah.
Another
Mhm.
Character I love is Kanzaki.
Kanzaki is amazing.
Which
Yeah,
one
I
is
I
that?
love her so
Kanzaki.
much. That's the one with the sword and the shorts, also the
Yeah.
pants.
Oh, yeah.
I like her character.
Bro, me and Manny are like full agreements on this.
Oh no, not
Pick
just
one.
you, dog.
Pick one.
I
Pick
can't.
one. Shorts or pants? Pick one.
Her whole, like, I don't know what's up with her. She got cowboy boots with the half.
Ayo,
pants,
oh no
half
no 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 no
jeans.
no no. Ayo, chill. Don't disrespect the cowboy boots though, because she
No,
looked good in them cowboy boots.
I'm just saying. I'm just talking
Look
about
at
her
them
outfit in a
Spurs,
whole.
though, dude. Like, oh my god.
I'm talking about her outfit in a whole is just very odd. She got the cowboy boots, the one jean leg, one short leg, and then she's got the shirt that's like tied under her tits, and she definitely not wearing a bra, dude. You see them things bounce.
Yeah, they're
Of
bouncing.
course she is.
And she's also got the giant Odachi on her side.
Yeah, like giant, massive, huge. I just wanted
Hey,
to say those words.
Hey, she's
And
18.
I'm not talking about the sword.
Yeah, I'm talking about me when I look at
But
her.
like
Talking
what
about my Odachi.
she doesn't get that much characterization though.
She gets
she does
there's an
later.
arc that focuses on her in season 2, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she has big two personalities. If you haven't noticed.
Also, what are some other characters? I like Tsuchimikado, the glasses guy. He's,
Oh, yeah,
he's hilarious. He's like,
one
I'm a
has-
liar. Don't trust me. But I was just lying there. You should actually trust me. But
Yeah,
actually,
that one. Yeah.
I'm a liar.
Yeah, Suchimata.
I think he's a great. I love him. He's hilarious.
I don't know how many of you played through Fallout 4. I know Trey, you played through Fallout 4, right?
Yeah.
So Suji Mikado, he reminds me a lot like Deacon from Fallout, from the Railroad, the one who like keeps.
Oh, okay. Okay, nah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even like the amount I watch, I still don't even know like which faction he actually works for.
Yeah.
Which is so cool because you see him working with Necessarius in like the Angelfall arc, but then like later on he works for the Tube guy.
Yeah,
like when he was talking about Ellis. But I love that part of him because he is such a, like a spy and like it just I think it affects his character so well.
He plays both sides, so he always comes up on top.
Yeah, it's such a great part of his character.
Yeah. What did I say? Oh yeah. So I mean, I think all of like the nun characters as well. They were in the Angelfall arc, if I'm not mistaken, because I didn't get to. The
only nun in Angelfall was the Angel girl. I forgot her name. She was Russian.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle, something like that.
Oh yeah, I was like,
and then it was changed. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the arc I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of. I know what you're thinking of. That's season 2.
Is that season 2?
Yeah, with all the nuns. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like them. They're funny, but I guess we'll talk about that when we get to season 2.
Are there any other characters anyone wants to talk about?
I think we should.
I do like Ellis or whatever her name is.
I think we should move on to this, just like the plot and story.
Oh wait, what about there's that girl in the last? She was like the imaginary school district girl that like.
Oh yeah.
That was like a big plot point or something, right? I know she comes back later on.
Yeah, that was like a big plot point in season 2, I think, or was that season 1?
Yeah, season 2. Yeah, because she's like the accumulation of like all the different like waves that the espers give off.
Yeah, because they made a human because of all like the.
I forgot what they were called.
Carbon and shit in the air or whatever.
Or it was something like that, but yeah, like they formed into her.
Mm-hmm. I thought we should bring much sense, but
like I said, I know that she comes back, and I think it gets more explained. But it's like kind of like she was just like, "Hey, I'm a human" or something, and then Tom was like, "Okay,
I'm here.
You want to go to the mall?"
And Index is like, "This is my friend."
Oh, shut up, Index.
Yeah, right. Like, oh my god.
All right, so let's go to the story arcs.
Okay, so the first arc we have, I don't know the names, but it's the Index arc.
Yeah, it's called the Index arc,
which is. Index shows up. Hey guys, I'm here. Blah.
Yeah, well, Index. First you get introduced like the city and like Toma and.
Which I liked that first episode. The first episode was one of my favorites when he's just running away from the thugs who are running away from Misaka.
Yeah,
that's good.
And like they have their little showdown on the bridge, and he's like, "You messed with the wrong person," as he like canceled out her electricity.
Yeah. So. And then
I like their back and forth like the whole time. They kind of have like a small rivalry going on, Misaka and Toma, because she really wants to beat him, but he always can cancel out her ability.
And he just doesn't care either. He's like, "Yo, just leave me alone, dog."
Oh yeah, I like that though.
Yeah, and then Index like shows up on his balcony or something.
Yeah, she's like hungover. Yeah. Well, not like hungover, like she's drunk.
Yeah, this 14-year-old girl had too much to drink last night.
Yeah, this 14-year-old nun is fucking wasted.
And like she's like hanging on the freaking balcony. Yeah, she's like, "Who are you?" And she's like,
"Shut the fuck up, bitch! Give me food."
Yeah. And then we learn that like she has all the. Like,
no, I don't think you learned that yet. She says it, but it doesn't get explained. She's like, "Yeah, I'm carrying all these books on me." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
He's like, "I'm carrying all these books." And he's like, "Where are the books? You literally have nothing on you." But I think we first learn about like the walking church.
Yeah, that's the
just magic in general.
Yeah, that's when like we first learned that Toma can cancel out magic.
Yeah,
because he cancels out her walking church, which was fucking hilarious. She had the smuggest look. She's like, "You ain't shit, bitch." Then just. And then she's like, "Oh fuck."
I love how neither of them thought of that first. It was like, maybe we shouldn't try it on the clothes.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure, whatever.
Because neither of them really thought it was gonna work. Because Toma's like, magic ain't real, first of all, and then Index is like, your power's bullshit.
Yeah, I guess so.
So and then she leaves and stuff, and then I'm like, and then Toma's like, "Hey, you left your hat here." Or what is it, like a habit? I think it's called a habit.
Yeah, you left your hat, so your back got destroyed.
Yeah, because they thought the walking church was still on, because they didn't know it got disabled. So when Kanzaki attacked her, she was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. Kanzaki's like, my bad."
And then Magnus is like, "Hey, fire!"
So then like the next day, like they meet and they have their interaction, and then Toma's walking to his apartment and finds like Index like on the floor, like
Maybe we shouldn't
dying
summarize the
around.
entire story. Just talk about what we thought of it.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it.
yeah.
But like,
So like
I
just
liked
like the main conflict was
the just Index and then the Necessarius and then like the memory loss and all that.
Yep.
so like they had to erase her memories or whatever, right?
Yeah, because I think the reason they did is because they didn't want her like learning that they've been lying to her the whole time.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to be able to
Control her, yeah.
keep her under their control because she has the grimoires in her head.
I thought this first arc, I thought it was good. Like,
Yeah, I think it was too, because I think Index was
It was
actually
good.
an interesting character in this arc.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
liked Index at first. I thought like, oh, she's quirky. She has her cool powers. Like, I thought she was like gonna like be a main character throughout the entire story at this point.
Yeah, and I thought
Also
it
set
would
it
be
up, man.
like more of like explanation because like it's like okay, she has like these like really cool like shit going on. Like she's part of this church. She has like grimoires in her head. Like I was like super excited to like know what's gonna happen next. And then like that plot line, it just became more of like a background thing while everything else starts happening.
Yeah,
And
because I know they drop the magic stuff for a bit and then go straight into the science,
yeah,
which isn't like I said, it's not bad, but it's like also you just kind of drop this magic shit.
yeah, because I was looking forward to that, and then I don't get what I want. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I get other things that are really cool too, like the sister arc, and then the
Yeah, talk about
Accelerator
that in a
arc.
second.
Yeah,
But like, so still on the Index arc is like, I wasn't expecting Toma to lose his memory. Like that was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I remember when
sudden.
me and Evan first watched it, and he
That
saw the
fucked me
feather
up
fell
at
on
the
his
end.
head. Evan was like, he just lost his memory, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. Oh no, it was when they were in the hospital bed or something, and Evan goes, "Don't even tell me he fucking lost his memory." I was like, ah, shit.
So like
Fucking A,
the
man.
thing with him losing his memory, like you would think like, oh, this is gonna affect his life in such a huge way, but in reality, it really doesn't. Like,
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, it does kinda.
but
Yeah,
like,
it comes into
It's
play
very minor.
here. It comes into play here and there. It's
I think
mainly
it came into play a lot during the Angel Fall
yeah,
arc.
that's when it
Part of
really.
that.
But like, besides
Yeah.
that, like he still like knows like his purpose or whatever. Like he remembers Index because, oh, I remember it from my heart, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to throw up.
bullshit.
That was so dumb. I
But
wanted
I
to
also like
shut
how
up.
like even when he lost his memory, he's still the same character pretty much.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna say, I think mainly what the memory loss changes is how he interacts with characters. That's like the biggest part of it. I
Yeah.
feel.
like he becomes a lot more like standoffish and like
Yeah, because he doesn't know how he interacted with these characters previously, so he's trying to like appease them while also having their image of Toma remain inside
One
their
of my
head.
favorite things is like when he meets like the Russian girl in the Fallen Angel arc. He goes, "Oh, a person mysteriously showing up, weirdly dressed. I probably know them."
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then after that was the vampire, like the thing with the dude that like had the cool magic where
yeah,
he like
it's called the Deep Blood arc.
yeah
It was what was the girl's ability? She could summon
Himagami?
vampires.
she had the deep blood. As her power was called. It summoned vampires, and then if vampires drank the blood, it killed them.
Mm-hmm. And what was the guy wanted the vampires?
Okay, so the guy wanted to turn Index into a vampire so that he could cure her so she didn't have to get her memory erased, because he went into hiding from the church, so he didn't know that Toma already like saved her. So his whole, because he was one of Index's like caretakers in the past.
Yeah.
So like his goal was, oh, I'm gonna use these vampires and I'm gonna turn Index into a vampire so that she can like doesn't have to get her memory erased anymore.
Yeah, and then he finds out Toma saved her, and he turns into an incel. So I wanted to be the one.
But yo, the part when Toma got his arm cut off and the fucking dragon comes out.
Oh yeah.
That's so
shit
cool.
was
Yeah.
crazy.
So
I
like
remember when I first watched that scene, I was like, "Damn!" And then he kept walking, and I was like, "Yo!"
I know he was like, that was just pure adrenaline.
yeah,
That
I
dude
was
like-
not expecting that.
With the
'Cause I
fucking,
know
that
it explains
smile
the
on his
dragon-
face.
The dragon was like the other guy's magic. Like it was him. Like his fear manifested that dragon. So that's not part of like Toma's power.
Yeah.
But it was still
Yeah.
cool looking.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting vampires to be part of this universe.
Well, like another thing is like they never really explicitly said if they were real or not.
It's
a very like it's like
yeah,
because like Magnus says he's like the church never actually like proven their existence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very open-aired question.
As a huge vampire fan, I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where
I
are the
was,
vampires?
but also I wasn't, because if they threw vampires in, I kind of been like, okay, what the fuck is happening now?
Like, it really would have fit the world, I don't think. But like, at the same time, I was looking forward to it so much.
Yeah.
So
I think it would have been too much.
this arc is when I started to hate Index, because she kind of just like, it's like, oh, where's Toma? I'm gonna show up and like cause a huge problem for no reason, and then have to be safe.
This arc also introduced Himagami, who I think is a really funny character. She like thinks she knows magic, but it's just everyday items. She's like, this is my magic wand. She takes out a fucking electric baton.
I love it.
I like that first interaction. She's like, this is my wand. He's like, no, that's a police baton. Where did you get that? Oh, that shit was
after this
funny.
is one of my favorite arcs is the sister arc.
Oh,
which is
but
the,
before we do that, like
what?
What?
Here's a word from our sponsor.
So like overall, did you guys like this arc?
Yeah, I like the Deep Blood arc.
yeah.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
It was short enough that I was like, the stuff that I was like, kind of felt like it was like, eh. I was like, yeah, the end made up for it.
'Cause it
So
was a filler.
overall, yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure it was a filler arc, and it really disguised it really well.
yeah.
Because I know Himagami, she's not a filler character; she's in the show, but like the whole Deep Blood vampire thing is filler. But the show does a good job of still carrying it out through the show.
But like it was in the light novel though.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a filler. I heard it was a filler arc.
No.
Oh, well then never mind.
But I heard that the anime skipped like 90% of this arc. Like it totally just fast forward and didn't really like dive deep into it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it was pretty well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I did feel like the pacing was super fast in this arc. It was like, oh, okay, just like I feel like it could have been expanded more, but it didn't really have to be.
Yeah, I feel like it was good where it was. It was just, dude came in, he was like, I'm gonna do the thing, and then he was like, I didn't get to do the thing, so now I'm mad.
Or like, what about like when Magnus got his fucking skin ripped off?
I was like, oh,
I was like, holy shit!
Oh,
When
yeah.
he's like, your skin will disappear, and he goes. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like I would have been surprised if Toma just like looked at that and was like, that's no big deal. But he actually like had a
I liked how he
actual
actually like, fucking
reaction.
threw up.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of shows like that, characters can just see like traumatic ass shit and they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
But he saw his skin get ripped off and he fucking like hurled over and puked.
which would pretty much be everybody in real life.
Yeah, which I think was a cool little thing they put in.
Yeah.
So
Sisters
moving
Arc.
on. Sisters Arc.
Sisters Arc, one of my favorite arcs. I think it introduces Accelerator. It really goes into Misaka. It introduces like the Misaka sisters.
Yeah.
It also introduces Kuroko, which is like but like.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for my favorite arcs as well. I really enjoy it.
I think it's no doubt the best arc.
In the
Yeah.
season, yeah.
Yeah, but I think because Railgun's in it, that's why it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking it was just like one of the ones that was told the best too.
Yeah, it was told the
Yeah.
best. It had more elements where I understood what was going on. So I'm like, okay, I could follow along without having all these terms being thrown at me like the other arcs.
Because I know like the main thing with it is they were trying to put Accelerator level 6.
Yeah.
They were trying to make him a level 6, which I know like the level 6 thing comes back in Railgun a little bit later.
Yeah,
And,
it
like,
comes back in season 3.
Yeah, so like I don't even know anything about it, but I know it does like show up a little bit later. But
I saw a very small
'Cause it
portion
was, like-
of it because I got spoiled on
it was,
Twitter. Because fuck Twitter. But anyway,
I think it was like Accelerator had to kill like 100 something railguns, but they can't make that many railguns. So then it was like 20,000 of like the whatever the sisters were called. I forgot. Their
Yeah.
powers.
yeah, it was 128 railguns or 20,000 sisters.
Yeah.
And the sisters have like this funny way of talking where it's.
Oh yeah, they talk like they're
Yeah.
fucking robotic. Misaka says as he looks at the computer, smiling.
Yeah.
Like, to the third person. Like, oh, okay, cool.
It's a really
Yeah, I
cool
like-
thing. I think Brittany Kabawarski does such a great job.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
she does a good job. Yeah.
I like Last Order too because she says
Oh, yeah, she says
Misaka
Misaka,
twice.
Misaka,
Yeah.
Misaka wonders.
So
I like that whole thing. Also, 10032. Like I said earlier, another one of my favorite.
She's the one.
Characters.
She's like the main clone in the show. Like yeah, she's like.
Yeah.
Because I know they say all the other sisters like there's like less than 10 still in Academy City because all the others like leave. I don't know
Mhm.
because like 10032 that means there's about 10,000 other Misakas out there somewhere. If they
Yeah.
or maybe they didn't make them that far ahead, but
Yeah. I don't remember what they said. There was I know there was
I know
still
there's
there was a bunch of
supposed
them
to be
left over.
20,000.
Yeah, but I don't know how far ahead they made
Maybe
them and
they
all
did,
that.
'cause
But
I know Last Order was 20,001. That was like her number,
Yeah.
so maybe they did make them that far ahead, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But like Accelerator just that shit was brutal though. Accelerator just fucking like exploded one of the Misakas.
oh yeah.
He was
He was a fucking nut job in that first arc. Dude, he was insane.
he had no chill.
I
Yeah.
loved when Misaka had him in the sights with the sniper, and she fucking snipes him, and the bullet just bounces back
Yes.
and just destroys the sniper rifle.
That was a great way to like introduce like the character. of
Yeah.
Accelerator.
Yeah. I was like, he was kind of like, I didn't think I'd like him as much as I did now. But just going off that first arc, because like he was fucking crazy and like fucking weird and shit. Like I remember, like when he was chasing one of the Misakas down the alleyway, he was like, "Oh, I like this view. You got a nice little ass." I was
Oh
like, "Bro,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, yo, you got to kill this
Yeah.
bitch."
Hey, yo, chill.
first of all, you're about to kill her, so chill. Second of all, she's a middle schooler guy. Chill."
Yeah, but I think Accelerator was on like I think Accelerator is the same age as Toma, and they're only like 15, and Misaka's 14, so it's not that big of an age difference.
Oh, was it? I thought they were. I thought they were older.
No, I looked it up in the wiki when I was watching the show.
Well, either way, that's still a weird comment to make. I don't
That's
know.
that's funny, yeah. And then you had Dog the cat. I
Oh,
love.
I love Dog, dude. That's my favorite character.
When she was
Dog
like,
the cat.
he's like, you should name the cat, and she goes Dog, and she has that fucking like smug little smile on her face.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then obviously you have like the whole like thing with Toma and Misako, where she's like, "Yo, just get out of my way," and he's like, "Nah, hit me, bitch."
oh yeah, I thought that was a good character moment for Toma where he was just like refusing to
Yeah.
get
Back
out
down.
of
And she was
Railgun.
like gonna kill him,
yeah.
but she was like just subconsciously holding back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because she loves him. Because Toma ex Misaka.
Yeah, best ship in the show, dude. Don't even come at me. Index, no, because I think Index and Toma have more of a brother sister thing going on.
Yeah. Also,
like,
I don't
Misaka
really
and
like
Toma?
Indexed all that much.
Also, yeah, Index kind of sucks dick.
Yeah. Not in a good way.
Yeah. So like that I feel like that was one of my favorite moments in the entire season because I like after she like fucks him up entirely when he wakes up in her lap. I thought that was good
Oh yeah.
because she was
Also,
like, "Oh
Dog
yeah,
was
so
still
you're like,
there. He was just chilling.
Vibing.
yeah." She was
He
like,
was like,
"Oh,
"Dang,
your
fuck
heart
that."
stopped for a second there," and he was like, "All right, time to get up and go beat Accelerator's ass."
I loved the scene when like because I love the fight between Toma and Accelerator. The first time Toma smacks Accelerator's hand away, the look on
Mhm.
Accelerator's face,
Yeah.
he was like, "What the fuck just happened?" And then he fucking just explodes, just
Yeah, because like that at that point, he's never had anybody.
touch him. Yeah,
He's never had anybody be able to be on his
Touch
level.
barrier.
Yeah,
Yeah, no one
it worked out
lovingly
weird.
touch him.
he got
he
no
like
hugs
he's
as
never
a
had
child.
someone actually like break through the barrier before, and he's
Yeah.
just like, "I'm about to get racist." So then after the sisters arc,
We
we
have the Angel Fall.
Angel Fall. I liked Angel Fall.
I liked it a lot. I thought like
That was
it,
good.
I thought it had some of the more funny moments. And also Toma's dad is just like a good ass dad.
My dude's a dilf, man. What are you
I
talking about? He was trying to get. He was trying to get.
Bucks.
Dude, he was trying to get down with Toma's
Yeah.
mom, who turned out to look like Index, and Toma was like, fuck that shit."
What was it? What was it? I think it's in. You don't see it until fucking Railgun. But I like Misaka's mom as well.
We can't talk about her. She's not in there yet.
I
How'd you
know,
dare?
but we're talking about
Those are when she-
parents, and that just made me think of it, and I had to say something.
She's in season 2 of Index. I think that's when she shows up first
Was she showing season 2 of Index?
Yeah.
I thought she showed up in Railgun first.
during the sports festival.
Oh yeah.
So
But anyway,
I'm done.
Angel Fall.
So while watching this, like the first couple episodes, I was just like, "Yo, Toma's mom looks a lot like Index."
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jake. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I thought the same thing, but not of like Index. When I saw the mom looked like Index, that's what like made me like start being confused. But when I first saw that his cousin looked like Misaka, because you see Last Order in the opening of the show, so I'm like, oh, this must be like the Index this is the Makoto from the opening, the little one. But then it was like, hey, it's my cousin. And I was like, what? They're related? I'm so confused. And then the mom shows up as Index. I'm like, okay, wait, something's going down right now.
Yeah, I remember being so confused. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
And like, I was like confused. I'm like, yo, like, why are you saying your mom looks stupid? Like, remember when he's like, this can't be my mom? I'm like, yo, chill. She's your mom. But I didn't.
You didn't put two and two?
No, not at all.
Also, I liked because they saw Kanzaki as Magnus. So when she had to go take a bath, she had to go in the bathhouse. And then the dad goes in. He's like, hey, what's up? It's Barcode Guy. And she just fucking flips out and just attacks them as they're running out of the fucking bathroom.
That was great. Yeah.
Then you had fucking Khrushchev or whatever her name was, who turned out to be the Angel Fall girl.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that like the dad like unintentionally created like the spell to do Angel Fall was cool.
I thought that was a really like smart and interesting plot.
Because he was getting like the good luck like charms from like.
Also, the way they set it up when he was about to reveal it, it makes it seem like he actually did it. Like the way he's talking to Toma.
Yeah, I remember.
He's like, I did it for you.
I was like,
and Toma's like, why? And he's like, what do you mean, dude? I was just getting you good luck charms. And he's like, what?
Bro, that was
run it back.
That was one of the ankle breaks from watching an anime that I will never forget. That was like, bro, they like 360 like no scoped me from across the map. I was like,
that
yo,
was like
what
when
the
Tsuchimikado
fuck?
really became a cool character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because before that he was just like Toma's friend, but now he's like you learn he's like actually like kind of maybe a member of Necessarius. You don't really know because he's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I like the way he combines like because magic and espers can't go together, but the way his power works is like a loophole for that. Because like he can like because he uses magic, but magic will destroy the body of an esper. But his esper power is regeneration, so he just regens that. I think he said he had like 1 or 2 more like spells in him or something like that, 3 or 4. Some I don't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah,
and
that was such a cool part of him.
And I like at one point you'd think he's like killing his dad.
Like, oh yeah, because he's beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's like, oh yeah. I remember what you talked about. He's like, sorry, I got to do this, Kami. And he fucks them both up, and then he's like, psych, I'm actually casting a magic spell.
Yeah. Oh, and what also is super funny is like at the end of the arc where the parents visit Toma in the hospital, they're like, yeah, our second house exploded. It's not that big of a deal.
Also, I like how Toma was like, dang, Tsuchimikado died. I mean, he was kind of weird, but I really looked up to him. And Tsuchimikado walks in, he's like, hey, what's good, my
man? Yeah.
But I love how, like, their house exploding is just like, oh, what are you gonna do? Shit happens. You know, spells get cast on your house all the time.
So after Angel Fall, it was the little mini Accelerator Last Order thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the
that
one
arc was
with
just, that was like 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a like Accelerator's redemption is crazy because like he gets the choice. He's like, you can either like pursue the scientist guy or go save Last Order, and he goes, that's an easy choice. And then you figure out he's like actually going to save Last Order.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just like seeing his life and just like his apartment is just like totally trashed.
Well, the reason why is because like everyone found out he lost to a level 0, so then they all think they could step up on him because that's not actually how his apartment is.
Oh, okay.
It was they trashed his apartment.
Uh-huh.
And he just didn't give a fuck though. He just also I love when he was in the convenience store. He just bought like all of that soup. Like he just put like 10 or so cans of that black soup in his bag. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy these.
Yeah.
It also explains his white hair and red eyes, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Because his powers block the UV rays, so his body doesn't need to produce melanin.
Yeah.
So that's why his hair pigmentation. That's why his pigmentation in his hair's eyes isn't there. That's why he's also pretty pale too.
Yeah.
Because your body produces melanin to like protect you from sun and UV rays, but his powers do that for him. So.
Yeah.
So I think we already kind of discussed what we liked about this arc accidentally.
But like, one of the other things that I thought was really cool is like when he's saving last sword, he gets shot in the head, and then you just see him like get up, and he's just fucking that guy up.
Yeah, right.
With a bullet hole in his head, and he just collapsed. And then the little doctor lady was pretty cool. I liked her, or the scientist lady. I know her, and then I think the teacher with the big titties from the last arc. They kind of become Accelerator and Last Doors like caretakers.
Yeah. She's like the one with the what's the one I'm thinking of? The tracksuit on, right?
Yeah, she wears the tracksuit, but she's also part of the I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, the police force thing.
Yeah, whatever the police force is called. I don't remember. It's not Judgment. That's the security force.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they're called, but yeah, we did talk about this arc already.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think we should just move on to the last one.
Which does that one have a name?
Let me see.
We'll just call it the Ellis Arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think was kind of just like an underwhelming finish.
Yeah, that was not one of my favorite arcs.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just there. I like how I liked how it had more Himagami in it though, because I really like Himagami. Because I remember the scene where it was one of Toma's friends showing her the magical like transformation, and she takes out the fucking police baton and does the pose with it.
She's great.
Because with this arc, I kind of half paid attention to it because like I don't know, I was kind of bored by the arc or whatever.
Oh yeah, I agree. It was like, and they introduced that one girl whose name I don't remember, but I know she was like the imaginary school district or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like they explained it, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I literally no idea. That is like the point when you guys were talking about where they just drop stuff. That was like the point when I really felt that.
Yeah.
I was like, "You're literally just spitting me words right now."
Yeah. Like, what the hell is the AMC
like they explained
delusion?
Like they explained it, but even the explanation didn't make sense.
Yeah.
They're like, well, the AMI or whatever disruptions fields is actually what espers give off because their powers change their radio. But I'm like, dude, do I have a fucking quantum physics degree?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it was just like spitting words that sound smart to feel like an explanation.
Bro, it's Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you Rick and Morty fans would have loved that shit.
But like at the beginning of the arc where like the teacher was like explaining this for like random reason, I was just like, oh, of course this is gonna come up later. I'm just gonna I was like, but it doesn't really matter. Because like it all just boils down to just like, oh, now we can like people can see where espers are. And you don't really need like the freaking scientific explanation.
I love like because that's when like you see like Misaka starts to actually have feelings for Toma in that arc too, because she's like, who the fuck is this white haired bitch?
Yeah.
Who?
And then they're arguing Misaka
For who?
Toma.
Oh.
Because like she starts getting embarrassed around him and everything. Because that happens, I think, in between the Accelerator and like that arc was a little like episode where it was the summer vacation.
Oh yeah.
When her and Toma went on the fake date.
Yeah, I like that one.
I love that episode. That episode's hilarious.
That is one of my favorite episodes. I love that one. Because I remember I think it was like at some point they both put down their hot dog or something like that.
And she's like, wait, which one was mine? He goes, who cares?
Who the fuck cares?
I feel like this arc just boils down to like, oh, there's a bad guy, and then Toma has to come in and punch him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like there isn't really much like.
Whenever Toma punches a woman, I get so excited. I don't know why. I'm just like, let's go!
Oh, you got a lot more of that going forward.
He straight up puts some like spin in that shit too. He like spins into that punch. He goes, boom, with the fucking right cross.
Bro, he got that right hook for days.
So
Bro, I don't know why, but he goes like hard. Chill, bro, chill.
I think we should start wrapping up and just discussing our final thoughts.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you guys give it, like, number wise?
Why don't you guys start?
Okay, I gave it an 8
I'd probably give it an 8 too. Like overall, the season.
because, like, well, for season 1,
Yeah.
I give it an 8 just because I've had, like, it's also from an enjoyment standpoint because, like, the first time I watched it with Evan, like,
Yeah.
I watched it with him, so that's like a good, like, one of my, like, enjoyed moments from it. Plus, I just love how it starts off one of my favorite, like, anime series too.
Yeah.
And I think the world building's pretty good. I love, like, the sisters arc and, like, Toma and Misaka and all them, and I think Accelerator's arc is really well done. So that's why I gave it an 8.
Yeah. I think I'd probably like basically the same thing. Honestly just really enjoyed it. It's coming back.
Enjoyable thing, yeah.
I feel I almost wanted to give it a lower score because one thing I will say about watching it again is that the first like this first season I felt a lot was like things it got a lot of its like hype moments from like shit that was revealed or shit that just like happened.
That first arc, like yeah.
Yeah. So like
was really
anything that had those like had to have the reveal of the hype type things, like I'd already seen those, so it was boring for me, you know what I mean, going through that again. But I think overall the show was still enjoyable to me, so I think I will still remain at an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
How about you, Manny? What's your overall thoughts?
I give it like a 6. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. With the show, I as Kobe and Evan said, I really like the world building. How it's a really good foundation for what's to come, and I'm excited for everything afterwards, especially Railgun. I'm super excited to watch Railgun.
Mm-hmm.
I think the show is overall really good. I like the sisters arc. I like the Accelerator. I like that funny little date one as well. Angel Fall was cool too. The show faltered here and there with a few of the arcs, like the ones we aforementioned. But as I said, the show is pretty good overall. So yeah, it's a solid 6.
How about you, Trey?
All right, yeah, I'll go in the middle. I'll give it a 7, just because, like I said, you guys pretty much summed it up. Yeah, the arcs that were good were like fantastic and great, and I did love those arcs. But what, like how Manny said, it faltered, and I struggled to get through it at some points, and to just keep the momentum going of like I want to watch this.
Yeah,
but I'm definitely excited to continue and see where it leads. But I mean,
where Toma and his wacky adventures lead him next.
So
Actually,
me,
we got
season, I can't bitch.
So overall for me, I think I would give it. I'm gonna do what like a Anthony Fantano score.
Oh no!
I'm gonna say it's a strong 5 to a light 6. I feel like it's kind of half and half with like the arcs. Like I think what like the sister arc and the Angel Fall had moments that I really liked, but like I found myself struggling through like the beginning of the show where it was super slow, and the ending I just kind of just like forced myself to watch it because I want to do this podcast with you guys. But there are things I like about it, but I think this show really just makes me excited for Railgun, and I think that's the most that's gonna come out for me with this show.
I think it also it does give a good amount of hype for Railgun, but it also really does give a good amount of hype for season 2.
Yeah,
because I do like Toma. I mean, Index I give a fuck about, but like Toma, I think like he has such a potential for growth. I really do like to see where his character ends up going.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for the podcast. Yes.
Podcast.
So next time we're gonna be
listening to certain podcast episode 1, part 1.
Part 1, episode 1.
Season 1 of Index. And so, Jake, what are we going to be talking about next time?
Next time, we're going to be talking about a certain scientific railgun season 1.
Woo!
Yay!
Yeah!
Woo! And I don't know when that's going to come out. Sometime. It will.
Whenever we can all finish the show.
Yeah.
And have time to record.
Well, thank you guys for listening. If you watch the show and listen along with this. That's really
Put
awesome.
your thing in the comments below.
Yeah. And I hope we get to grow a community. If not, we can just do this for fun. I really don't care. But thanks for watching. See y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye bye.